Today, we need to talk about a really groundbreaking ruling from India's Supreme Court. It's a decision that takes on an issue that's too often kept in the dark, and in doing so, it completely redefines what education, dignity, and equality mean for millions of girls all across the country.
Right at the beginning of its judgment, the Supreme Court used this incredibly powerful quote, and it just perfectly gets to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? This isn't just about policies or buildings. It's about making sure that a simple fact of life doesn't become a final judgment on a young girl's entire future.
And that right there is the fundamental problem. For so many girls, menstruation isn't just a monthly thing. When you don't have access to proper sanitary products or clean and private toilets or even just a supportive environment, well, it becomes a reason to miss school. And then you fall behind, and for far too many, you drop out for good.
So how do you even begin to fix a problem that's so widespread and deeply ingrained? Well, the Supreme Court stepped in, and they've done something huge. They've reframed this whole issue, not as some small convenience, but as a basic, fundamental human right. And that's the big headline. Access to menstrual hygiene is now officially a fundamental right, written into the very fabric of India's constitution. So the big question is, how did the court get to this point? What's the legal thinking that made this happen?
Well, the answer really hinges on this powerful legal idea called substantive equality. And believe me, understanding this one concept is the key to unlocking this entire verdict.
It's a totally fair question, right? We usually think of equality as, giving everyone the exact same thing, treating everybody identically. But the court made a really important point. Sometimes, that approach can actually make existing inequalities even worse.
And this is where substantive equality comes into play. It's a much smarter way of looking at things. It says that to get to true equality of outcome, you sometimes have to treat people differently to help them get over the specific hurdles that are standing in their way.
Think about it like this. Formal equality might just mean building a school and saying, okay, it's open for everyone. But that completely ignores the fact that girls face a unique biological barrier that boys just don't. Substantive equality says, wait a minute, to give girls the same actual opportunity to learn, we have to provide things like toilets and sanitary products. It's not special treatment, it's about what's necessary to finally create a level playing field.
And the court didn't just pull this idea out of thin air. They tied it directly to India's constitution. They argued that denying these basic facilities violates the right to equality under Article 14, the right to a life with dignity under Article 21, and even the Right to Education Act itself, because free education has to be free of all barriers.
But here's the thing, the court didn't just stop with the legal theory. They issued 4 crystal clear, non-negotiable commands for every single school in the country. They turned this legal idea into concrete action.
And here they are, 4 simple, powerful directives. 1. Free sanitary napkins for every single girl. 2. A safe, hygienic way to dispose of them. 3. Toilets that actually work, that are private and have soap and water. The basics. And 4. MHM corners, a really thoughtful touch. So if there's an emergency, a girl has supplies and doesn't have to go home in shame. These are real, tangible changes.
But the court also knew that just building things isn't enough. You have to change the culture. So the verdict goes even deeper, and it tackles the silence and the stigma head on.
And this is how they're doing it. The court is mandating menstrual hygiene education right in the school curriculum. It's requiring training for all teachers, male and female. And this is so important. It's ordering the education of male students to build empathy and understanding. And to make sure all this actually happens, there will be inspections with anonymous feedback from the students themselves.
And just listen to this quote from the judgment. It's so direct. It explains exactly why educating boys is a non-negotiable part of the solution. The court is basically saying that you can't create a safe space for girls without bringing boys into the conversation and fostering a real culture of respect.
So, when you put it all together, the new legal definition of equality, the practical to-do list, the focus on changing the culture, what you really see is a blueprint for a profound society-wide transformation. The justices ended their judgment with this message, speaking directly to every single girl who ever had to miss school because of her period. It's this incredibly powerful and validating statement that says, hey, the shame, the burden, that was never yours to carry. It was the system that failed you, and we are now starting to fix that system.
There's no doubt about it, this is a massive victory. The legal foundation is now rock solid.
But it leaves us with the biggest question of all. What happens next? What will it take from the government, from schools, from all of us in the community to turn these words on a piece of paper into a lived daily reality for every girl in every single village and city? That's the journey that has just begun.